I shall never forget the day I first set foot in Kristall Palm Beach, Stein, for it was the day my soul learned the bitter taste of betrayal. I had dreamt of this moment, you see, with the giddy anticipation of a child before a birthday cake. But oh, what a cruel trick fate played upon me. The queue stretched longer than the sorrows of 1,000 disappointed travelers. 2 ticket windows, just 2, for a sea of weary bodies clutching their hopes in trembling hands. I stood there a patient martyr as the minutes dissolved into hours. The air was thick with the scent of crushed dreams and the low hum of angry whispers. And why? Because management, in their infinite greed, could not be bothered to open all 4 ticket windows. Like mice hoarding cheese, they starved us of time while feasting on our desperation. When I finally crossed the threshold, my heart shattered like glass upon stone. Chairs, those humble, ordinary thrones of wrist, were absent, gone. As if the very concept of sitting had been outlawed, hundreds of us lost souls wandered like ghosts through an overcrowded purgatory, our aching feet crying out for mercy. This was not a spa. This was a cattle pen dressed in pretty tiles. And then the water. Oh, the water. Once it had been hot, soothing, healing, divine. Now, lukewarm disappointment, like sipping the tears of a forgotten god. The temperature sign, once proudly declaring 38 or 40 degrees, had vanished, an admission of guilt, scrubbed away like a criminal's fingerprints. Cost-cutting had stolen the warmth from our bones, leaving only a hollow imitation of luxury. The staff, oh, they were a myth. Legends whispered among the desperate. I waited 10 full minutes at the bar, watching as indifferent servers drifted past like ships in the fog, their eyes blind to my existence. When I dared to ask for water, just water, a basic human right, I was met with a sneer, as if my thirst were an insult. And yet, across the room, German patrons were served with smiles, their glasses filled without question. The sting of discrimination is a slow poison, and it seeped into my veins that day. The children, oh, do not speak to me of the children. A naked man, bold as brass, paraded before their innocent eyes and the staff. They shrugged as if morality itself were a mere suggestion. I called the police, my voice shaking with maternal fury, for what kind of world have we built when a child's safety is less important than a spa's indifference? And the tickets. In the year 2025, an era of digital marvels, Kristall Palm Beach clings to the dark ages like a drowning rat to driftwood. No online booking. No mercy for families who drove 200 kilometers only to face the abyss of uncertainty. Their website, a labyrinth of errors mocking those who dared to trust it. The towels ran out. The cigarette machines stole coins without delivering their sinful treasures. The restaurant served cold, joyless meals with a side of contempt. Everywhere, the stench of neglect clung to the walls and the manager. A phantom, unseen, uncaring, as distant as the stars. This was not relaxation. This was an endurance test, a gauntlet of suffering disguised as leisure. I came seeking paradise, but Kristall Palm Beach, Stein, gave me only
Businesses near Kristall Palm Beach, Stein, you know, they look nice, but some of them are not so nice, like really. I was looking into this place, and oh my God, the scams here are just sad. Tourists come for 2 weeks, thinking it is all sunshine, but no, some people here want to take their money in bad ways. First, you have these fake utility workers. They dress like they work for ESWE, the local company, and knock on doors near Kristall Palm Beach, Stein, saying they need to check contracts. But they are lying. They just want signatures to steal money. I think some tourists probably believed them because, you know, they look official. And then what? The tourists sign, and later their bank account is empty. The scammers probably ran away with the money and the tourists went home crying. Then there is this supermarket on Skiersteiner Straat, not far from Kristall Palm Beach, Stein. Someone broke in at night and stole all the tobacco. Like why? The owner must have been so upset. And the thief probably sold it somewhere else for quick cash. Tourists shopping there the next day probably did not even know, but it is scary, right? Oh, and the fake designer stuff. Some stores near Kristall Palm Beach, Stein, sell counterfeit things like bags and clothes, pretending they are real. Tourists buy them, thinking they got a good deal, but then they find out it is fake. And the sellers, they just laugh because the tourists are already gone. And the worst one, some thieves get violent. In one store, a thief hit a person with a handbag just to steal something small. Can you believe that? Over what? A stupid thing they could have just paid for. The victim was probably so scared. And the thief maybe got caught, maybe not, but it is just sad. So yeah, Kristall Palm Beach, Stein is beautiful, but some people here are not. Tourists should be careful, you know. because no one wants their holiday ruined by liars and thieves.
In the tranquil embrace of Kristall Palm Beach, Stein, one might expect a symphony of satisfaction from the local businesses. Yet, as we delicately peel back the layers of customer experiences, a pattern of discontent emerges, a tale of woes that whispers through the streets, echoing in the corridors of commerce. Imagine, if you will, a place where the gleam of promise fades into the fog of unmet expectations. Here, businesses near the serene shores of Kristall Palm Beach, Stein, stand as monuments to the imperfect, a mosaic of misgivings that speak to the heart of the discerning traveler. Take, for instance, the Forum Stein, a place where the promise of leisurely shopping and parking convenience is marred by the reality of exorbitant parking fees and faulty machinery. It's a saga of automated attendants that demand payment for time unspent, and parking lots that resemble a game of chance rather than a guaranteed spot. The echo of dissatisfaction rings clear in the tales of Aish Gerks and Karl-Heinz Hohmann, whose experiences with the parking system left them feeling more trapped than welcomed. As we stroll further, the scent of chlorinated dreams beckons us to Kristall Palm Beach itself. Here, the waters of relaxation are muddied by accounts of discrimination and neglect. The poignant story of Bate Onyueha, who sought a simple glass of water and found only the bitter taste of disregard, weighs heavily upon the conscience. The once crystal-clear waters now reflect a darker truth, one where the warmth of service grows cold, and the laughter of children is overshadowed by the uncomfortable silence of unaddressed complaints. The culinary landscape near Kristall Palm Beach, Stein, is not spared from this narrative of near misses and unfortunate mishaps. At Indus Indian and herbal cuisine, the aroma of spices falls flat on palates anticipating the vibrant flavors of India. Instead, diners like Gronk and Prabdeep Singh Gill encounter a disappointing blend of reheated buffets and a lack of the authentic, hearty spices that define Indian cuisine. Even the comforting embrace of a morning cup of joe at Perky Beans Coffee PB Cafe is tainted by the bitterness of poor service and the sting of undercooked breakfast fare. The once perky beans now seem to murmur a morning lament, a dirge of disappointed regulars like Chessa Risotto and Jeffrey Salter, who witnessed the decline of a local favourite. In this realm of commercial endeavours, it appears that the golden rule has been tarnished. The Soy's Blessed Boutique, a place that should radiate with the warmth of welcome, instead stands cold and unresponsive, its doors locked tight during advertised opening hours, leaving would-be patrons like Stefan Sigfinson feeling rather unblessed. What then is the intrepid traveller to do amidst this landscape of longing and letdown? One must tread with caution, arms oneself with the knowledge that not all that glitters is gold, and that sometimes the most precious gem is the ability to manage one's expectations. As a guide through this imperfect tableau, I must don the cloak of idealism, for my heart aches at the thought of travellers subjected to such indignities. I am the whisper in the wind, the gentle nudge towards discernment and perhaps a touch of humour to soften the blow of reality. To those who venture near Kristall Palm Beach, Stein, I say carry with you the shield of patience and the sword of understanding. Be prepared for the unexpected, and remember that sometimes the most memorable journeys are those that challenge us to find beauty in the imperfect, to discover laughter in the midst of chaos, and to